go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
To be, that's basically what it comes down to with 10 games remaining. The playoff push is on. It includes Jacksonville on the road. It'll be Allegiant Stadium coming up this Sunday at just after 4 o'clock. Jacksonville favored by 3.5 points. Your total is 44.5 points, and that's really saying something considering what happened last week. All of the favorites, 11-2. With 6 teams having buys. Also, the overs just rolled in time and again and time and again. It really wasn't your mom and dad's NFL in Week 8. It felt more like directional schools going up against blue bloods, and that's not what you would normally expect in the NFL. I think that's going to change coming up beginning, who knows, maybe even tomorrow night, but certainly with the slate of ball games that are on tap this weekend. Okay, helmets and heels fans, relax. They'll be back tomorrow and Friday. They're on their way right now to Las Vegas. My name is Rick Ballou. I'll be joining them in Vegas early Saturday morning. Normally, I'm with you 6 to 8 each and every night on 92.5 FM. But for years and years and years and years and years, I did afternoons. So this is kind of cool to be back here today from 2 until 4. And we got plenty to cover over the next couple of hours. Going to update you on what went on today. All right, Liam Cohen spoke this morning. It's 2:02. Trevor Lawrence is expected to talk after practice today at 2:30. A reported pads on practice. Remember, they've kind of gone back and forth on that. They've given him the extra day to heal, and they've been doing it on Thursdays. A lot of things that Liam Cohen does is different from the norm. And I think that is refreshing. Players have bought into that. You're still really sore on Wednesday. So it's not as though they hit, but obviously the pad's going back on. Then the long trip to Las Vegas, in which is a very winnable game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, Vegas is a bad team. They're only scoring 14.7 a game. Think about that. They're only ahead of Tennessee, which is just a disaster. And that's why you look at this game, you look at the 2 against Tennessee, you got to win all 3 of them. All right? You're at 4-3. With these 3 games, it has to get you to 5, 6, and 7. There's really no other way to say it. I'm going to get to this in just a little bit. But you look at Indianapolis right now, it's 7-1. They're playing incredible offense and defensive football. And all of a sudden, don't look away because Houston has a dominant defense, the number 1 scoring defense in pro football, the number 1 total defense in pro football. And if they can get anything offensively, they're finding ways to win football games. All of a sudden, Houston at 3-4 is still in it. So the importance of Jacksonville to win this game is right there in front of them. And that's what I want to begin the program with this afternoon, is looking at what realistically can be fixed. I mean, I could sit here and say, fix the offensive line, run the ball, get the ball to Brian Thomas Jr., defensively create some interior pass rush, get a little something out of your backup defensive ends. While we're at it, let's remove the cast of Trayvon Walker. While we're at it, let's get Josh Hines-Allen a sack, right? I mean, he's a pressure dude, but let's get him a sack. Special teams, Cam Little, make them, yada, yada, yada. I mean, you got all those things that you can mention, but where you really are is what can you fix in season? How many of these things, realistically speaking, are going to change for the positive? And if you look at a lot of stuff, particularly in the ditch, where there have been problems offensively and defensively, the bumps and bruises are only going to continue. Yeah, they should be fresh, and we'll wait for an injury report. As a matter of fact, I don't know if that'll get to us by the time I get off air at 4. It probably will not, considering Vegas is a West Coast team, so they always push that back. So I won't really be able to talk about that with you until tomorrow night on Thursday. Tim Brando tomorrow night, he's fired up a lot of Gator fans. Wow. I mean, for crying out loud, you think I'd be talking about, Florida winning national titles year after year after year after year after year, scolding Tim Brando. We'll bring him back tomorrow night, 6 to 8. The Philly Godfather as well on Thursday night, 6 to 8. Well, we'll take a look at everything as well as the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, right? And certainly the Jaguars going to Vegas, where they've had success. They've been winning on the road. I'm not saying they've had success in Las Vegas. They've never played in Las Vegas. I know that because it's the only NFL stadium I have never been to. I was lucky enough to see it about a year and a half ago when I saw U2 at the Sphere, but I've never been to this brand new stadium. So, again, I'm looking forward to heading there this weekend. And that'll be tomorrow night where we will do that. We will have the injury report. So, that is pretty cool. Okay. Jacksonville and Las Vegas. A lot of similarities. New general manager. New coach. A quarterback here where you are trying to get the best out of them. I wouldn't call, the situation quarterback-wise with Geno Smith in Las Vegas a reclamation project. He did put up some decent numbers in Seattle. And, of course, he is very familiar with Pete Carroll, who's a defensive coach, as we know, by trade. But you have to wonder, how much longer are they going to stay with Geno, right? Is Kenny Pickett soon to get that opportunity? You look at bench quarterbacks around the league. I think I read, it was 8 of, I want to say the 24 starting quarterbacks, 8 were not starters this past weekend. And you just lost Carson Wentz. And it was also announced that there's going to be a quarterback change, came down yesterday in New Orleans. So that's 10. That's 10 quarterback changes already, and that doesn't even include the teams that were on a bye a week ago. So there are some similarities here. But, let's get right to it. The first thing that Jacksonville has to do out of all of the issues that you want fixed is they have to do things early in this football game offensively. What happened to the first couple of weeks where Jacksonville was able to – we said Liam Cohen has done things a little bit differently this year. I love the fact that he won the coin toss, took the ball. Then he elected to give up the ball. I think it was week 3, maybe it was week 4. But if you listen to me at night, one thing that I have been screaming about for years and years and years, and I don't care if it was Urban Meyer, I don't care if it was Doug Peterson, and now, it's a little difficult to buy totally into the Liam Cohen trend because it's only 7 games. But Jacksonville has been in an absolute coma offensively at 1 o'clock. Okay, just look at it. Game after game after game, year after year. 3 and out, maybe a first down, then a punt. They do nothing. And the defense has done their part at times. Special teams have done their part at times. At least they're awake, not the offense. And this is where you have scripted plays, right? And you can Darrell Bevel me all you want, and Doug Peterson me all you want, and Press Taylor me all you want. That's fine. That's acceptable. But they're still asleep at 1 o'clock. And this is where you put in your game plan. This is a scripted scenario, and they're flat, averaging 3.3 points in the very first quarter. Okay? A year ago, Liam Cohen had all of these records, had all of these number 1 titles, right? Best red zone offense in the NFL. His quarterback threw the most touchdowns in the NFL. Last year, Liam Cohen had the best overall third down offensive percentage in the NFL at over 50%. Oh, yeah. He was also averaging 6.7 points in the first quarter. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. because you've got to get out in front of it. You've got to show some life. It keeps your defense on the bench rested. And when you put up points, what else are you able to do? Become a balanced offense. The last couple of weeks, Jacksonville, only 19 totes, right? Just not enough. They said they didn't run it enough against Seattle in a one-possession game. Of course, 2 weeks ago was just an absolute blowout. They couldn't do anything right in London against the Los Angeles Rams. So that's the very first thing. And this is fixable because you saw it early in the year. But to me, that's the most important part of all of this, at least at this particular point, because it's the first drive. It's your first opportunity. And, Jacksonville doesn't have a good winning record anyway. You'd have to do a ton of research on this. But we know that the Jags are the losingest team franchise in the last 10 years, if you include the NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball, okay? Love to know what their percentage is in games where they don't pick up points on their first drive. I'm guessing it's less than 10%. It might be less than 5%, which is freaking scary, okay? Score. I don't care if it's a field goal. You've got to be alive, and you've got to get some things going right out of the gate, all right? So that's number one. Actually, we're up against it here, so I got quite a few, and I'm going to absolutely include you in your opinion. For those who listen at night, I don't think anyone is more interactive with the listeners than we are, and there's a couple of ways that you can join us. First of all, on YouTube, just go to 1010XL into the night. All right, very feisty crowd at night, 6 to 8. I think a lot of them are professional drinkers, to be honest with you, but it's always very entertaining. And our text line, 641-1010, which is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. So a couple of ways that you can reach us right here on the show. All right, opening comments are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. And remember, their goal has always been the same. That is to get you more value for your money, to actually save you money. It's pretty incredible nowadays. You go to these offices and they have all these advanced machines, and they'll take you from machine to machine. And what's that going to do? It's going to raise your price, right? Shmunez Vision, they have all those machines, but you may not need them. Again, they're just not going to add on for the sake of adding on. When you look at Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt, you're talking about 37 years worth of experience. My girlfriend had surgery yesterday. We spoke with the doctor at length pre-surgery. You realize there's a lot of practices out there that when you want to talk to your eye doctor about the surgery that he or she is going to perform, they'll say, I don't have time for you. I have another patient. Walk down the hall there and talk to a surgery counselor. Who the hell's a surgery counselor? Okay, if you're going under, don't you want to talk to the doctor who is actually performing the surgery? Yes, you do. That's Shmunez Vision. Check them out online, or you can go to Instagram and get all of the latest testimonials at Shmunez Vision. RJ Saunders is here. Rick Ballou, normally with you 6 to 8. I am here, and we're thrilled about it. We got a ton to do. It's good to have you with us. Helmets and Heels back tomorrow, 2 to 4. I'm Rick Ballou. This is Into the Night, a day edition.
He talks, he listens, he tells stories only a coach could know.
So you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer, tuned up by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet. Friday mornings on 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800, or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life, and I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Go! Here's a new story written every Friday night in every hometown in America.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. Clogged drains happen when grease, soap, hair, and debris build up over time. Even tree roots can invade your pipes. All this leads to the annoying water pooling in your sink or tub. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline has the tools and know-how to clear stubborn clogs and keep them from coming back. Don't ignore a slow drain. It could lead to bigger problems. Make the superior choice when your drains are clogged and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
It's holiday season and it's not too late to find the perfect spot to celebrate with your team. Fourscore is a place that brings the energy, where great food, craft drinks, and unreal vibes meet cutting-edge full-swing simulators. Don't play golf? Do not worry. With over 40 interactive games, Fourscore has something that everyone will enjoy. Perfect for company outings, birthdays, and even private events that go beyond the ordinary. With locations in historic San Marco and centrally located Gate Parkway, Fourscore is ready to make your next celebration unforgettable. Hit the easy button and book your event today at fourscoregolf.com.
Jacksonville, are you ready? The college basketball season is tipping off soon with an epic in-state showdown. The defending national champion Florida Gators and the Miami Hurricanes go head-to-head in the Jacksonville Hoop Showdown. Be there Sunday, November 16th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena and witness this in-state rivalry live. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. It's Florida versus Miami right here at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, November 16th. Ticketmaster.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Joe C. here, and boy, oh boy, I've got a great deal for you traveling home team fans. If you plan on going to the Titans game up in the Ville, you can stay where I'll be staying in the heart of Nashville, at the Omni Nashville, super close to Broadway Street, as well as Nissan Stadium. They've got a killer rate for 1010 listeners. Just go to our website, 1010XL.com, and click the Omni link. Come hang with me, Joe C. in Nashville the weekend after Thanksgiving. It's the holidays, so let's celebrate with a big game in Nashville and stay at the Omni Nashville.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Yeah, the Phillips Highway Stroll. You know what that means. RJ Saunders is producing the program. You know the romantic drive I get to and from? Straight out of Bartram Springs, take a left on racetrack, take a left on Phillips, and I cruise that bad boy all the way here to Bowden Road.
Rick, are we still planning for the Super Bowl parade you and I are going to have just strolling down Phillips Highway?
Yeah, everyone's going to go down, Bay Street, over the bridge, 95. You and I are going to cut the corner there and head down Phillips. But they're cleaning up Phillips, man.
Yeah.
You got apartments going up. You got all sorts of good buildings going up. I mean, no matter where you go in Jacksonville, there's more and more building. People want to live here.
Yeah, no, I absolutely enjoy the fact that Jacksonville is becoming more and more of a growing city, but just make sure to keep the pathway clean when me and Rick are going down the road after the Super Bowl parade.
No doubt about that. All right, you doing okay?
Yeah, man, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. I really am. This is a great week, and looking forward to getting to Vegas. I mean, the bye week is crucial, but it was hard around here with no Florida State, no Florida, no Jacksonville. It's kind of rare to have all three off during the same weekend. Not as though I did not thoroughly enjoy watching all of the other games Saturday and Sunday. I even got up early Saturday morning and played some golf for like the first time in 2 months. But I'm ready to get back to some football.
Absolutely, I am too. And you being a guy who's been, I believe you said you've been to every single NFL city covering the team. What do you think of Las Vegas, kind of like as a football town? Do they care a lot about the Raiders and the team, or do you think it's, just they're there in Vegas?
They've had success. Former Lizard Kings coach Bruce Cassidy, who went he went to the District of Columbia for a couple of years and had to rebuild his brand in Boston in the the level right underneath the NHL, not the ECHL, but anyway, in Providence, Rhode Island. Then he went to Boston. They fired him because some of the veterans didn't like the fact that he was a little bit too tough on them. And, Boston had a historic years under him. They lost in the Stanley Cup Finals. Then he goes over to Las Vegas, and the Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Or didn't they go first year also to the Stanley Cup?
Yeah. I mean, Vegas is a very transit town. It's great with tourism, albeit I'm told it's down a little bit because of everything that's going on in our world. But I think Vegas will survive. I was lucky enough to be the sideline reporter during the final game ever played at the Black Hole. That was, a great come-from-behind victory by Gardner Minshew and the Jaguars. And it was also during a period where Jacksonville just could not win out west. And they did on that particular day. So, I'll be surprised to see what this new stadium is like. I will tell you, I heard all the hype about SoFi, and I know you're from L.A. I was disappointed by that stadium. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that was supposed to be one of the state-of-the-art buildings, the new buildings as they're trying to build L.A., or as we're hearing now, L.A. 2.0, conspiracy theorists. But, yeah, SoFi Stadium, as well as the new stadium the Clippers just built, I heard that's supposed to be the future. So for you to be kind of underwhelmed by that comes off as a surprise.
I feel bad for the people in Oakland. I'll get over it. But, I mean, the fact that they lost the A's and they've lost the Raiders twice, Golden State's out of there. They just, for one reason or another, that's why you should be lucky here in Duval. I get asked quite a bit, what franchise, if any, could make it here? Could baseball make it here? Could hockey make it here? Could the NBA make it here? Frankly, I don't think there's enough people here, right? But there's so much room. As we know by radius, this is the biggest city in the United States of America, and most people who are coming here come from other parts of the country where you have hockey and basketball and baseball, so you're going to bring in those type of fans, and Tampa Bay is a great example. Look at what they've done with hockey. They do it absolutely in an incredible way, and you got people from all across the country move to Tampa Bay. They still have their team, whether it's the Red Wings or the Blackhawks or the Rangers or the Bruins. It could be anything. And they root for Tampa Bay, basically every game except for when they do face the team they came along with. So, anyway, interesting stuff. All right, let's get back to realistically what can get fixed for the Jaguars. Here's the next component, all right? If you want Brian Thomas gone, you're wrong for several reasons. Number one, he doesn't cost anything. It's a rookie contract. This isn't Tyson Campbell in the awful deal that Trent Baalke gave him. That's a win-win regardless of what ends up happening here with Greg Newsome, because Newsome's on a show-me deal. And reportedly, he's going to get some more burn coming up on Sunday. And that kind of goes into my point here with Thomas Jr. All right. Number two, you're never going to get value. It's all about value, right? You're not going to get a number one for Brian Thomas Jr. Who's going to right now realistically say, unless you're a deep into the playoff type of team, Buffalo could use a wide receiver. Kansas City's got a couple of guys now healthy, or I guess one back off of the suspension. But if you're a team that's expected to go deep and you're drafting 28th, 29th, etc. on, then maybe just possibly they would do that for Brian Thomas Jr. But you're not getting a top 10 pick. You're not getting anything along those lines. Not after the way that he is, showcased his skills or perhaps the lack thereof so far this year. But this is what needs to happen, all right? He needs to now be your number 2 guy. The number 1 targeted wide receiver has to be Travis Hunter. They did a bad job 2 weeks ago. They waited till after 28 minutes to get him the football, and it was on a reverse. You look at the box score, or if you were drinking 3 6-packs and you don't really remember the game, and then you looked at it the next day, you're like, hey, Travis Hunter, he had put up big, they were garbage yards. They were fourth quarter yards. It was a fourth quarter touchdown, but it was still enlightening. The fact that we saw a little something more than just the ball thrown to him at the line of scrimmage. I still like that idea. A big deal here with Travis Hunter is to just get him the ball and let him use his athleticism. But for one reason or another, the defenses have done a really good job this year, not only containing Hunter at the line of scrimmage, but really taking away the Liam Cohen screen game. That is supposed to be one of his fortes. You look at what he did a year ago. I went through some numbers at the top of the program, all these really impressive things that Liam Cohen did. Look at his 2 backs a year ago. They ran for 1,750 yards. They caught, I want to say, almost 100 footballs for over 800 yards. This is supposed to be something that is going to work, and it hasn't. And pitches, pitchers will tip pitches, whether it's a fastball or a slider or whatever it is, that the really in-tuned students of the game can pick up on that. And I've had some conversations. Is Trevor Lawrence doing something differently when it's going to be a screen game? 14 receptions out of 22 attempts to Travis Etienne, a guy he's known for 8 years, is absolutely positively not acceptable. Those balls go 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards. Those should be layups. Those should be absolutely automatic. But back to Travis Hunter. We saw 2 weeks ago against Seattle. He caught that 14-yard ball, right? It was a short route, made people miss, and that was it. The other 3 receptions went for 1 yard. They need to expand his route tree. They need to take some chances. We get the fact that Trevor's gone consecutive games without throwing an interception. They have to attempt to do some things with Travis Hunter. I think it is going to cost Jacksonville defensively. I'm playing him less and less and less on that side. I think you're going to see more of Greg Newsome this weekend against Las Vegas. Buster Brown, now completely healthy, is a really good football player. I don't know what's up with Jarian Jones. He's just not being used. He has not been a guy who has developed with this new defensive scheme. He's never been a zone coverage guy. Played a variety of positions at Florida State, albeit all man. Last year had a lot of success in the slot. Is that something that they may consider here at some point? Perhaps Jarian Jones a little bit, back to the slot and maybe keeping Jordan Lewis as a corner where, he starts in the base defense. He's starting there as a corner. Jordan Lewis played some really good football. So I don't know if they're going to mess with it. They may keep it the same way. But, boy, the Jones thing I can't explain. I think he has 5 total snaps defensively in the last 5 games. He's had goose eggs in 3 of them. So this is what Jacksonville needs to do. It may come with some mistakes, but that's okay. Every quarterback throws a pick. I would rather have this than, the dinking and the dunking and not targeting him the way that he should be targeted. So as far as I'm concerned, this isn't even close. Now, I'm not giving up on Brian Thomas Jr., but let's face it, he is now a project. There are all sorts of issues with him. We don't know what's going on with his head. We don't know if he's gun-shy. We don't know if he's just flat out scared. Okay? He got lit up against Pittsburgh in the preseason. He's not effective over the middle. You go back to the week before, I think it was San Francisco. You go back to that ball game. He caught 5 balls on 7 attempts. Every single one of those receptions or every single one of those targets was an out pattern. And Spagnuolo was up next. You knew he was going to be able to figure that out, so they changed things up a little bit for him. But you just can't run him on out patterns. Defensive coordinators are going to eat it up. It's as simple as that. But I think by making him the number 2 guy and not featuring him early on is going to create a situation where there will be spots where he can be effective. You know how good of a football player this man can be. But right now, it's everything. The lack of effort we talked about in Cincinnati. I want to say that was a little bit of a mirage. I haven't seen a lot of lack of efforts. I didn't see the one a couple of weeks ago where he actually caught 8 balls in 10 games or 8 balls in 10 attempts. When apparently many of you thought that he slipped and he gave it the alligator arm. I thought he pulled up. Later in the game, he dropped a huge a huge third down ball in the come from behind attempt there against Seattle. I understand what is happening. I have no explanation for these drops. But you need to cut back on Brian Thomas Jr. You need to force the football to Travis Hunter, and it's going to come at the expense of your defense. You can't put him out there every play, and I get that question daily. No, it's not going to work. You really do. You have to pick a side, and I think right now that side is offense. I think there's more that you can rely on defensively than you can offensively, my opinion. So that's point number 2 that I do believe the Jaguars can fix. Absolutely, they can fix that. These are a couple that I have mentioned that, again, I expect to take place. All right, when I return, let's do the exact opposite. Let's look at things that need to be fixed, but I think it's going to be a very difficult process to do just that. That's coming up. Along with R.J. Saunders, I'm Rick Berlin.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through October 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Make Honda of the Avenues your first stop for award-winning customer service and world-class Honda vehicles. Our inventory is larger than ever, which means we have the perfect Honda waiting for you. Plus, at Honda of the Avenues, we always put our customers first, making the car buying experience fun, fast, and easy. You'll always find great deals on our huge selection of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, all prepped and ready for a test drive. Come see just how different car buying can be at Honda of the Avenues today. Stop by or shop from home at HondaoftheAvenues.com. Proud sponsor of Sporting Jags.
Everyone deserves to feel safe and valued. I'm Heather Quick, owner and attorney at Florida Women's Law Group. We're committed to supporting women affected by domestic violence. With essential legal advocacy and support, we help them regain their strength and independence. If you or someone you know needs help, we're here. Together, we can create a safer, brighter future. Visit FloridaWomen'sLawGroup.com or call 904-204-2359. Divorce for women, by women. Offices, Jacksonville.
Pickett here for Zero Res. Are you scared of ghosts? Of course you're not. They aren't nearly as scary as some of the things that Zero Res sees in those air ducts. Ducks straight out of a horror film filled with spooky dust. Gross dander, creepy cobwebs. Which is why Zero Res is here to banish monsters hiding in your vents. Don't be afraid of ghosts. Be afraid of what's in your air ducts. Call Zero Res today and take advantage of our October special. Mention 1010XL. They're offering 15% off duct and dryer vent cleaning. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean. Zero Res.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? You know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. Since 1927, Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821. CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
What's happening, folks? It's your main man, E.T., of course. And whether you're biking through shaded forest trails, casting a line from Camp Chow Pier, or enjoying music by the St. Johns River, Clay County is full of ways to play. This month, experience off-road trails at the 2025 Crawling for the Fallen. Savor bold flavors and classic rides at Moose Haven's 15th annual Chili Cook-Off and Car Show, and celebrate the fall season at fall festivals all across the county. Find a full lineup at ExploreClay.com. Come on, somebody.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Ain't nothing but against the body. Why you acting like
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
What do we got here, R.J. Saunders? I kind of like it.
This is Tupac.
I asked for some Tupac. And R.J. Saunders delivers. Unsolved homicide.
Yeah.
Right.
Although I think they said the guy admitted it.
Yeah, but I think he was like looking for attention.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the guy around here forever. I can't think of his name. He was with, Otis Toole. Remember, he tried to take credit. Yeah. He lived in Jacksonville here for quite some time with Henry Rawlings and tried to take credit for, the guy who did Most Wanted.
Right.
Had the young son.
Yeah.
That was, this is going back 30 years ago, I think. But, you don't think, times must be tough if you're trying to take credit for crimes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is a mad thought process, man.
All right, Helmets and Heels fans, they're back tomorrow live from Las Vegas out at Circa. They'll be there Thursday and Friday. I'll be back on tomorrow night and Friday night, 6 to 8. And then I'll make my way out to the Circa and get ready for this matchup coming up Sunday, just after 4 o'clock. Jacksonville is favored by 3.5. All right, I gave you two things that I think realistically the Jaguars can fix. That's scoring early in the first quarter. Again, they've been dormant as of late, down to 3.3 points in the first 15 minutes. That has to change. Number two, game plan. Feature Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas Jr. now is your number 2 guy, maybe even your number 3 guy until you can fix him. I still believe you can fix Brian Thomas Jr. Okay? Let's get now to things that you want fixed, but realistically, will it happen? Let's get straight to it. Is Trevor Lawrence playing better football, protecting the ball, but still leaves a lot to be desired, okay? A fifth-year quarterback with a completion percentage of 58.7 is staggering. Now, we understand that no one has more drops in the NFL than the Jaguars. No one has more mistakes made by wide receivers. As a matter of fact, you look at the numbers, it is so alarming. It's just brutal. 37% of the incompletions that Trevor Lawrence has thrown this year are because of wide receiver error. Think about that. 37%. Not all on him. Okay? And I can't do the excuse game anymore. I did it for the first 4 years, and it was true. It was obvious. The Urban Meyer debacle, and then, with Doug and Trent, and we get all that. And Jacksonville has had a terrible offensive line. Jacksonville has not been able to run the football. They were also, Trevor Lawrence has been a victim of bad play calling. We were under the belief that all of that was going to change here during the 2025 season. I think the biggest issue that people have with Trevor Lawrence, and I won't stereotype it, I'll give you what I believe. Man, he has to be more consistent. We talked about the Liam Cohen screen game. I had Daniel Griffiths on, the data guy, on Monday night. Jacksonville's 32nd in pro football in the screen game. That was a Liam Cohen monster a year ago in Tampa Bay. It's not working. Again, the simplest of passes, the high percentage passes, is way off. And, that one ball he threw to Travis Etienne 2 weeks ago in London, these guys have been together for 8 years. It looked like he just pulled them out of the stands. They weren't even near. I mean, how can you be that far off? So, you look at his completion percentage, you look at his quarterback rating, and then you start to look at guys like Drake May. You start to look at guys like Jackson Dart. You start to look at these young quarterbacks, and they're developing, right? It's happening right in front of our eyes. Trevor Lawrence needs to be able to take that next best step, or that next step that hopefully advances his career. What is the simplest way for that to actually occur? Run the football. Okay? Defensive coordinators right now continue to huddle up on a week-to-week basis, and they say, watch this. We're going to jam the run. We're going to cheat. We're going to put an extra man in the box. We're not going to allow Jacksonville to beat us by running the football. The pressure is going to be put on the quarterback. If Jacksonville is going to win this game, make Trevor Lawrence beat us. Okay, I thought the win against Kansas City was so huge for him, and that it was going to be able to change things for the better, okay? That hasn't happened. The last 2 weeks, Jacksonville has scored 18 points. I mean, Jacksonville's or 19 points. They're averaging 9.5 points a game in the last 2 weeks. For the first time this year, Jacksonville actually has allowed more points than they have scored. They're 25th in pro football at 20.9 a game, okay? They're allowing 22.1 a game defensively. This Raiders defense is awful, okay? The Raiders defense is allowing almost 26 points a game. They can't score. Las Vegas is 31st in scoring. They average just a smidge over a touchdown. I mean, you should be able to say right now, if Jacksonville scores 17 points in Las Vegas, they should be able to win this game, okay? And we know that there's been problems with the interior pass rush and all of that. But let's get straight to it. This is where it has to happen. And this is a long-going process. This isn't Trevor doesn't take that next step in 2025 and this franchise moves on. No. This franchise has no choice but to fix Trevor Lawrence. That is why Liam Cohen is there. And it is slowly evolved. And the progression is nowhere near where you want it to be. There's still 10 games left. I want to see Trevor be aggressive. I know he's going to throw picks. I know he's going to make mistakes. I know the offensive line has been just terrible. They've allowed 67 pressures in the last couple of weeks. He's been hit more than 20 times in the last 2 weeks. I got it for you, folks. All right? If this happens, Trevor Lawrence isn't going to survive the season. Trevor Lawrence is going to go out with an injury once again. He's getting killed. The Trevor Lawrence that I did not like was him overdoing it to try to make a play. Fumbling in the pocket, trying to extend some things with his legs. That's part of his game. And, I think that was such an emphasis on him a year ago that it had an effect on him as far as his development. Great quarterbacks throw interceptions. Just look around the league, not only now, but, forever. I don't have a problem with that if he's taking a chance. Fumbling the football, trying to escape the pocket, yes, that I do have a problem with. Okay, he's got to understand that. And then, there are times with Trevor where, and this is where it gets problematic for me. This is where it gets realistic for me. His in-game sense. All right? How do you get delay of games the way that he gets delay of games? Can't happen for a fifth-year quarterback. How do you run out of bounds when you know you have to stay inbounds? It almost feels like at times he doesn't understand down and distance in the game as a whole. And that is really alarming to me. Because, I watched Jaden Daniels last year in the playoffs look flawless. I've been watching Drake May every single week. These guys don't make these type of mistakes. And they're younger than Lawrence. And they're playing on bad football teams that are now becoming better football teams because of what the quarterback does. Trevor Lawrence needs to escalate this entire football team. All right? We were told, is a generational talent. He needs to become a star. And he needs to throw the football, and he needs to be more consistent. He needs to learn how to understand the game, in-game, and can't make these type of mistakes. Now, it's going to be very hard. The wide receivers, which I thought was the best position group this year during training camp at the Miller Electric Center, has disappointed. The offensive line has been terrible. They spent a lot of money on Patrick McCarry. He's been terrible. They spent a lot of money on Robert Hainsey. He's been average. It looks like the Walker Little deal by Trent Baalke was another miss. Man, that's all Trent Baalke did was miss. He couldn't get anything right while he was here. Anton Harrison's a first-round guy. He's supposed to be your most talented offensive. He's not Luke Jokel bad, but he's been average. And if you look at his Pro Football Focus scores, he's below average. But I'm not making any more excuses. This is time now for Trevor to, regardless, he's got to take it to the next level. I think this is going to be a very difficult thing to see through. I hope I'm wrong for the sake of you Jaguar fans. But I don't expect to roll in here on Monday and every Monday after that saying another incredible game by Trevor Lawrence. I think for right now, he's at where he's going to remain. And I wouldn't expect mammoth improvement at this particular time. I do want to believe, and I know you don't want to hear this, I do want to believe that it's going to get better for him. because he's around for years. Regardless if you don't want him anymore, he's still the quarterback, okay? Again, they have to fix him. If they don't fix him, it's all going to change. And they're going to go out and get some people that can fix him, all right? And I think Shad Khan is patient here. But that's realistic for me. You just can't hope for a miracle here. It's slight improvement. And I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive throwing the football downfield. And I get it. That's saying something with the limitations of this offensive line, and it's saying something with the amount of drops that the wide receivers have had. Tell you which can really help this as we head to this break. That's getting Brenton Strange back in a couple of weeks. That's a big blow. That is a huge blow. And you got Trayvon Walker playing, with one arm, and Devin Lloyd. I mean, you're missing, if you were to rank Jaguar players 1 through 7, those 3 are in your top 7. Lloyd, Walker, and Strange. And they've all been out. All right, much more to do. Good to have you with us tonight till 4 o'clock.
1010XL is your home for play-by-play of Bishop Kenny football.
The Crusaders march into the season's final battle and try to tame the Stallions. Bishop Kenny at Providence, Thursday at 7 on 92.5 FM.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Early detection saves lives. This month, join Ackerman Cancer Center to go light blue and take action with prostate screening and their expert guidance. Book your screening consult and experience the Ackerman Advantage at AckermanCancerCenter.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 29th, 2003, LeBron James makes his NBA debut, scoring 25 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
I'm with Greg from Cycles in Jacksonville. We always talk about Honda and Triumph, so many great bikes, but Aprilia from Italy is also a beautiful line.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a fine sport bike. It's one that when you take your helmet off, you're never frowning. You're always smiling.
So if you want to treat yourself to something really special on the road, that's a line they should look into?
Absolutely, and we've got them in stock and ready to roll.
All right, make sure you check them out. They are on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com is a great place to go, or check out their Facebook page at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Your home deserves more than just another coat of paint. It deserves quality that lasts. At First Coast Paint, you'll find premium Benjamin Moore products, trusted advice, and the local experts who help you get it right the first time. Whether it's your living room, your porch, or your whole house, First Coast Paint brings your paint project to life. Stores in St. John's and St. Augustine. One name Jacksonville trusts. Mention 1010XL for 10% off. First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
Joe C. here, and boy, oh boy, I've got a great deal for you traveling home team fans. If you plan on going to the Titans game up in the Ville, you can stay where I'll be staying in the heart of Nashville, at the Omni Nashville, super close to Broadway Street, as well as Nissan Stadium. They've got a killer rate for 1010 listeners. Just go to our website, 1010XL.com, and click the Omni link. Come hang with me, Joe C. in Nashville the weekend after Thanksgiving. It's the holidays, so let's celebrate with a big game in Nashville and stay at the Omni Nashville.
I know two brothers whose minds are always in the gutters.
Hi, I'm Tim.
And I'm Kevin.
We are the Good Brothers.
That's good with an E.
From Good Brothers Roofs and Gutters.
We install 6 and 7-inch seamless gutters, plus we repair and replace roofs, pool enclosures, and super gutters.
We are the Good Brothers, veteran-owned and local.
Visit goodbrothersroofsandgutters.com.
License number CCC 1334384.
Good Brothers Roofs and Gutters.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. I love Hello Smooth Med Spa, my go-to for skin health and beauty. Their biggest event of the year is November 19th, National Botox Day. Huge deals, local vendors, and it benefits Make-A-Wish. Don't miss it. Visit hellosmooth.com for more details.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we found out last night that Ohtani is not from Mars or any other planet. He is human. And I thought he was going to get out of that first inning with 9 pitches, and he did not. And then ended up throwing, I think, 19 in that first frame and got bumped around a little bit. The trade deadline acquisition of Shane Bieber with Justin Bieber in attendance last night was huge. 5 1/3, 4 hits, a run. So all even at 2 apiece. Game 5 tonight, the finale from Chavez Ravine. Blake Snell on the bump. Should be a good one. Dodgers and Blue Jays. You been able to watch this? You're an LA guy.
Yeah, no, I've been dabbling in and out. I mean, also watching the start of the NBA regular season, but it really has been a compelling World Series. I think you had said you had the Dodgers in 5 here. No, it seems
I said Dodgers, and I said if I was gonna bet,
right,
I'd bet Dodgers in 6.
Dodgers in 6. Are you still kind of standing by that? The way the series has been going, this may go all the way.
Yeah, and both teams are so dominant at home, yet they're 500 teams on the road. Okay, 4 out of the 7 are in Toronto. Dodgers got to win there. All right, Toronto got to win in LA. If I'm a Dodgers guy, man, you got to win this one tonight.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
Go back to Toronto, and then can you win one of the 2 there? But we're seeing some great baseball. So I've really enjoyed the World Series, and again, Game 5 coming up tonight.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely going to be a spectacular finish to this. I think there were probably many people who thought that the Dodgers were just absolutely too powerful and they were going to make quick work of the Toronto Blue Jays. But Toronto, I mean, especially after that game when you go 18 innings and you lose the way in which you do on the Freddie Freeman walk-off, and you're able to swallow that, come back the next night, and be able to come with I think that was a 6-2 victory that they had in this past game before you have tonight's. I think it really shows the reserve and also just the ability to be able just to swallow that, put that in the back of your mind, and go out and play another game. So the Blue Jays to be able to do that, I think the Dodgers aren't out of the woods as they thought they might have been after that Freddie Freeman walk-off.
All right, we got a lot to do in our second hour, and it's going to include your input, getting a lot of stuff rolling in on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also join us on YouTube. All right, go to 1010XL. I keep saying Into the Night. Is that how you get there, or just go to 1010XL on YouTube?
You can go to 1010XL. You can also type in 1010XL Into the Night, as you always say, and you'll be able to find it right there on YouTube.
Pretty cool stuff. Some college football coming up with Niall Lawrence Stample. Much more on the Jaguars. Let's get ready for hour number 2.
Get in the huddle with 1010XL's QB.
All right, guys, let's make a play for 1010XL.
David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Rick Ballou here with the congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
He caught the game winner from Danny Warfel and never looked back. Former Gator Chris Doring joins Dan and Jeff on The Drill Tuesday mornings at 7:20 on 1010XL. Protected by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Jacksonville, hunting season is here, and nobody gears you up like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. They've got everything for all seasons: archery, black powder, and general gun season. Green Acres is a fully stocked Browning dealer with ammo, accessories, and safes. Don't miss out on Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday, happening now through the end of the year. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. This weekend's Florida vs. Georgia game could be a lot closer than expected, regardless of a lopsided rankings matchup. Georgia's offense has struggled this season, not eclipsing 33rd in the country in any offensive ranking. Meanwhile, Florida's defense has proven to be stout all season. Both teams will play hard for a rivalry game, and the Gators may have an extra spark under interim head coach Billy Gonzalez. It's 73 degrees at 3:03. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you with us. I'll be with you again tomorrow night, 6 to 8, Friday, 6 to 8, the return of Helmets and Heels. They're on an airplane right now to Vegas. They'll join you from the Circa tomorrow and Friday. Again here, 2 to 4. Let's bring in our buddy Niall Lawrence Stample, our Florida State analyst. Won a national title with Florida State. Also played defensive line for the Cleveland Browns. Big guy, how you doing?
I'm good. Looking forward to seeing what we got going on this weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of nonsense. Yeah, I don't know where I sit. I've never been a fan of rooting for a team to lose. That has never been the way that I have rolled. What are your thoughts on this coming up as far as winning, losing, and we understand what's ahead at the end of the road, but how do you feel about that?
I feel I have mixed emotions. It's obviously I feel like a lot of people do, but I'm looking forward to watching Florida State football. It sucks because it's not going to be the standard that we want, and it's not going to be what it is that we're expecting from our team. But it is Florida State football nonetheless. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully our guys respond. Again, I spoke about it on my social media, saying you just never know what you're going to get with Norvell. Sometimes we see good, sometimes we see bad. It's just we'll see when we see it.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. The local media asked him about the availability of Thomas Castellanos. He didn't say anything, but I thought the Norvell of old would strip your credential for even asking that question.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
We'll I'd like to see Kevin Sperry. I'd like to see if this kid has it, he's the future. It's not Tommy Castellanos, but let's be honest here. Norvell probably believes if he has any shot of returning, he's got to win every game. He's going to play Castellanos if he can play.
100%. I genuinely like Tommy Castellanos. I like his skill. I like his play. I like his determination. But again, I would like to see Kevin Sperry. I'd like to see and push that development. He doesn't play like a freshman. He doesn't play like someone that looks like the lights are too bright. He comes there. He commands the offense. I love his demeanor when he's on the field. We've seen it earlier in the season. We saw it come a little bit at that last game. So I'm looking forward to seeing him being able to get on the field and show what it is that he has. I know he can do it. It's just being able to put it together and have the weapons to be able to respond and help him get over that hump as far as being possibly a first-time start.
Billy Napier struggled a year ago, and I said his kids played hard regardless. He got the vote of confidence, and they turn around and beat LSU, Mississippi, Florida State. Mike Norvell gets, I guess, a vote of confidence from athletic director Mike Alford. So far, it looks like they haven't, and it's tough to quit because the film doesn't lie, even though you can transfer. But how realistic is that? Guys now taking plays off, knowing that the season is a wash.
It's hard because especially now, and if any players are listening, it's the rev share is different. So like the rev share, it's going to be based off of how well you play. So if you want to get paid and you want to make sure that you're getting money in the NIL and all of this stuff going on, you have to make sure that you are producing on the field. So there's no quitting. Again, we talk about the pride. The pride's important. Their parents are watching them. The last thing that they want to do is go ahead and get blown off the ball, but running to the ball is a part of it. Being able to take an effort plays are a part of it. Those are those small things that don't really have to deal with pride, are things where I feel like they will potentially draw back, what you don't want to see. But again, on top of that rev share, you have to put out good quality film, good quality production in order to be able to make money in college football right now.
You used to be able to say, now Lawrence Stample, our guest, he of course is a business owner here in town with NLS Cleaning and is our Florida State analyst. There was a time where you would say Florida State and that's it. This year now it's Florida, it's LSU, it's Penn State, and then there's other jobs, Va Tech, Oklahoma State. You just go on, Stanford, UCLA. Could this have any effect with we understand they're out asking for money right now. Can they come up with that money? But could this have any effect on whether or not they officially pull the trigger on Mike Norvell?
It could. It's tough because if we're not on the same page as far as Alfred and everyone in the organization is on the same page, I don't see us being able to come to terms. So that there is a possibility that all those other coaches and all these different programs that are hurting and trying to find, and it could, which would suck because it would leave us in purgatory. We don't want it. We don't want that. That's one thing that we cannot have, because I think if you're not pushing forward, you're going backwards, and the time and effort that it takes in order to get an established dynasty or an established program off the ground is a while, even in this new era.
Yeah, it's going to cost so much money. It's going to cost maybe $70 million to say goodbye to this staff. Then you got to create all that money to get a new staff. It's going to be very intriguing. I think he's a lame duck, and regardless of what happens, he is gone. Others believe there's still a fighting chance for him to hold on. So, we'll see. I can't imagine what it's going to look like this Saturday with Wake Forest coming in. I mean, maybe the bye will help, or fans who are so upset say, all right, I'm going to go. If it had been a week after, maybe not as many. But what do you expect here with the student body, the booze, everything that, we think is going to happen?
I still think there's a lot of positive Nole fans out there that really just want to watch Florida State football. Though the continuity that we keep talking about is not necessarily there with the coaching staff and everything else, I think that there's still enough meat on the bone in order for our fans to go out there and really have a good time, hopefully, for the most part, from the majority of the game. But Wake Forest is a beatable team. They are, and they are doing fairly well. They're 5-2. Their offense is a little bit questionable. Their defense is very good, and that means that they're playing on our strengths as well. So I think that if we could come out and we could have somewhat of a solid showing, that could bring a little bit of air into the stadium, a little bit of air into the fans. So hopefully this bye week has refreshed everybody's mindset. It has hopefully created some opportunities to have guys realize what it is that they actually need to do. Like, this is not just being here anymore. Like, you're not just a person on the roster. You are a player that has to create opportunities for themselves. And I'm hoping some parents and some other things from off season from this bye week has been able to channel that.
Now I'm really down on the administration. I know you and I talked about this before the beginning of the season, but I didn't understand the new stadium. I mean, to me, college football is about a cathedral. It's about your feet sticking to the cement. This isn't the NFL. They spent so much money there. And then the standalone building, I get it. It makes sense recruit-wise. But they got their hands tied now because the money instead should have gone into the football program to get better players. Miami spends money, they get Cam Ward and Carson Beck. All right. Florida State goes DJ Uiagalelei and Tommy Castellanos, and they paid 1/4 of the price.
Yeah. And it's when you put all your eggs in one basket and you bet on Norvell, this is really what it is that we're watching in real time. Because if you sit here and you're like, okay, if Norvell is the coach that we want, Norvell's going to get us where we need to be, even if it's a solid lull and we're not necessarily winning everything, but we're keeping up with the Joneses for the most part, then we can say, okay, let's turn around and actually spend some money in the portal now that we have our facilities, because we are very far behind the rest of the ACC and the rest of college football. So those things needed to get upgraded, especially to be able to compete with recruiting and some of the other things. But it was all on the weight of Norvell's shoulders. Yeah. Everything and every investment that was made was on the weight of Norvell's shoulders. And unfortunately, it was a rough investment.
Final moment with now Lawrence Stample. He is a former Florida State Seminole national champion and, of course, played defensive line for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, we talked about Tony White last week and the death threat. So I've attempted now emails and phone calls to the president of Florida State, to the athletic director at Florida State. They have not returned anything, and I've tried several times. So it's either one of two things. There's an extensive investigation going on with the FBI. They don't want to say anything, or they've swept it under the rug. And if it's the latter, that is so Bush by Florida State to have their president and their athletic director just ignore what their defensive coordinator said after receiving death threats.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to see that. It's got to be everything has to be taken seriously. So hopefully that isn't the case, and hopefully they are diving into a deep investigation. But I think that there's a lot of turmoil going on in Tallahassee right now. So it's really hard. It would be really hard to tell. I do want to touch on something. I think the biggest part of what we have to see the back end of this season is going to be development. And I think if there's any calling card that we have, it's development. And development will allow us to get some of that hope that we needed from a coaching change. Look, LaWayne McCoy has flashed all season. He's got 12 catches, over 100 yards. He's got a touchdown. I want to see him more. Yeah. He's a true recruit that we brought in. He's a sophomore. It is time to start getting him into the rotation more regularly. And I think that will feed into some of the other opportunities as well as the recruitment. Let's recruit well by showing that that we can produce players that can come on the field and learn and actually contribute to making plays.
That's a great point. I'd like to see Williams getting more involved. I'd like to see Thomas get a little bit more involved. We're seeing the Sear twins play more. Cromar, Danzy. I mean, you're right. And you got to be able to say to these 18-year-olds, you can come in here and play right away, because recruiting has been a problem for FSU. All right, what did I forget? Anything else you want to mention before this ball game against Wake Forest?
Oh man, I would say other than the fact that Wake Forest is a very disciplined ball club, that's one of the things that I saw in film, is that they are disciplined. They're disciplined on offense. They're disciplined on defense. It is going to be a tough game for us to win it. So if we do win this game, that means that FSU has somewhat turned somewhat of a corner, because this is not an easy Wake Forest team. So that'd be the only thing I'm saying to watch out for. If this is a win, this will be a solid win.
NLS Cleaning in town, you did a great job power washing my driveway, up to my front steps, sidewalks, and everything. Tell the people what you do.
Yes, sir. I own NLS Cleaning, and we are a full exterior service cleaning company. We do everything from roof washing to window cleaning to gutter cleaning to full house washing, building washing, up to 7 stories. If you need anything, give us a call. The number is 904-708-8802. And our website is nlscleaning.net. Give us a call or give us a shout on the web.
Niall Lawrence Stample. Always good to see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Rick.
Let's get back to the Jaguars on the other side with RJ Saunders. I'm Rick Ballou.
What does Johnny O know best? O knows Jacksonville football.
Okay, say, oh my.
Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010XL.
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit MorganConleyRoofing.org.
Jacksonville is game time, and just like the Jaguars fight for every yard on the field, Duck Duck Rooter fights for every customer at home. From plumbing repairs to septic pump outs to keeping your AC cool all season long, we've got the winning playbook. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and delivers championship service every time. When plumbing, septic, or AC problems put you on defense, don't fumble the call. Dial 904-862-6769 or visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now, in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800, or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life, and I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 29th, 2003, LeBron James makes his NBA debut, scoring 25 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds.
Frank Frangie here. It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickchevy.com or visit the dealership at Park and Cassett. Who's got more new Chevrolets at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. Chick-fil-A has something brand new on the menu, and it's only here for a limited time. Introducing the Pretzel Cheddar Club. The sandwich comes on a warm, buttery pretzel bun, a slice of cheddar cheese topped with 3 strips of Applewood smoked bacon, fresh lettuce, and tomato, and the kicker, a creamy Dijon mustard sauce on the side that takes this sandwich to the next level. Try it grilled, spicy, or original Chick-fil-A chicken. Don't wait. It's only here for a short time, so stop by Jacksonville Chick-fil-A locations and try the Pretzel Cheddar Club today.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, Prosper here, and right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's rapid equity loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. One call, life change. There's no wait, no hard credit pull. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 914-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Call 914-999-1508. See how much cash you can get today. You can also visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You realize the doors open in 1 hour at the Blue Crab House? $1 oysters on Wednesday. Steamed oysters. RJ Saunders, you've been there with me before, the Blue Crab House. So we have steamed oysters when we went?
We had shrimp. That's what we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They have that.
We
as
got to
well.
go back though, Rick.
I go all the time. I go on Sundays. I do during the summer. It's a little bit more difficult now. I do sneak off there on these Fridays. A lot of Fridays I've been doing 4 to 6 during high school football season. I am back to 6 to 8 this Friday. That'll be tomorrow night as well. Helmets and Heels fans, they're back with you tomorrow, 2 to 4, and Friday as well, live from Circa in Vegas. And I'll be out there Saturday. So appreciate the good folks there at Circa right on the Strip. Should be a whole heck of a lot of fun. Maybe not as fun as the Blue Crab House. I don't know.
Absolutely.
We'll see. It is going to be certainly a blast. All right. Thank you to Niall Lawrence Stample as well. We're going to get to the Jags here. I'm so down on my alma mater. I really, they don't do anything right. There's no other way to say it. I mean, you see they retired Charlie Ward's number over the weekend, and they did it during a freaking exhibition game. And I understand that Charlie Ward is the coach of Florida, FAMU. I understand that. And he's never been an intention seeker. And maybe he did say to Florida State, listen, I don't want to come in during the regular season game because it would make sense. First of all, they should have retired Charlie Ward's number 20 years ago. Secondly, if you do it against Miami or Florida, or you do it against Duke or North Carolina. You don't do it in a preseason event. But, they just seem to do things wrong. And again, that might have been Charlie. I'll give him a little bit of credit there. But I tell you what, I mean, to have Tony White last week during his press conference say that he has received death threats, and Florida State has been incredibly silent about that. Again, I've reached out to the 2 leading men, and I know they got their hands out. They're asking for money. As far as I'm concerned, nothing should be more important than protecting Tony White and his family. And they won't even respond to me. I've reached out voicemail. I've reached out with text. I mean, this isn't something that you just dismiss. Nothing is more serious than this. And I hope they're doing the right thing over there. We shall see. All right, let's get to Trevor. We've been talking about the screen game. Trevor Lawrence just met with the media today. It was a padded practice for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, we've gone through everything that needs to happen as far as these high percentage passes, the screens, and how this is a Liam Cohen trait. I mean, this is that what he does among the best of the best, including last year in Tampa Bay. It has really struggled. The number 32 this year with the screen game are the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence moments ago had this to say about that.
A couple times, defenses, they sniff out some screens. That's happened just a few times to us, and so it's either a throwaway or tackle at line of scrimmage. That just happens when you run screens occasionally. And then some other ones, execution things. Maybe it's not the right landmark by whoever's catching it. Maybe it's the throws a little bit on the wrong shoulder, so we don't hit it, increase it right on time to set up the blocks. Maybe a offensive lineman got hung up inside. There's so many different things that can happen. But saying all that is, it's just on us to execute cleaner, all the time on those screens, because there's some big opportunities for us, and it's something that we got to be better at. And I think we know how we need to improve and the different factors that have kind of come up in the past few weeks when we have maybe had some plays left out there.
All right, it's QB1. That's moments ago. He went right to it, sniffed it out. And that's what's alarming to me, is the defense recognizing that he's throwing a screen. I mean, there's been several instances throughout the course of football, high school, college, and pro, where what a quarterback does as far as his mannerisms can give you a really good understanding as to whether or not it's going to be a run or a pass. But I don't remember anything coming down where it was a difference between a pass downfield compared to a screen pass. But it feels like defensive coordinators are all in on this. I mean, they got some really good offensive minds in the Miller Electric Center. I'm sure they're looking at it each and every way. And I'm not saying that is the case. Almost like pitchers who tip things. It used to be, I mean, there's so many things that pitchers do. You have the middle finger that sticks out of your glove. A lot of times when guys would throw a slide or whatever, they would move it or not move it when it was a fastball. I mean, baseball geniuses are able to figure that stuff out in the dugout. I've never heard anything like this before in football. And I'm not saying it's the case, but I think with the way that they have struggled, everything has to be under consideration. Hey, one thing in this game, RJ, that I'm still about run and stop the run. That's when you break down my football IQ. I still believe if you can run the football and you can defend the run, you're going to win games. Because running changes so many things, including it keeps your defense rested on the sideline. You move the clock. The Jaguars are a much better run blocking team than they are a pass protection team. And also, defenses can't be on their heels anymore, expecting you to throw the football. You've got to lean towards the box. You got to be on your toes to pick up the run. And Jacksonville had a lot of success running the football the first 5 weeks. But, I look at these numbers, and the Raiders are terrible, okay? Again, they're 23rd in scoring. They're 31st in scoring offense. They're 23rd in scoring defense. They're actually minus 11 per game. I mean, they get 14.7, and they allow 25.7. They're a difference of minus 11, which is frightening, okay? This is absolutely a ball game that Jacksonville should win. All right, and you may give me the 3 points, 3.5 points. Okay, Jacksonville's a better team, and they've proven that they can go on the road and win. But here's the one thing that I do look at: Jacksonville is 8th in rushing offense. Even over the last couple of weeks where they struggled, they're still getting 4.7 yards a carry. That is 8th in the NFL. Vegas is actually pretty decent. If you look at all of their defensive numbers, they're bad outside of rushing defense. They're 10th. They only allow 4 yards a carry. And I understand that you can cook books, but when you have a lead, what do? You run because you take the clock. So they've been facing a lot of teams who have had leads and that have been rushing the football primarily in the second half, and they are pretty stout there. They're only allowing 4 yards a carry. So, hey, listen, if you're rushing for 4.7 and you're allowing 4, if you cut it in the middle and it's, 4.35, my math, that's 1st and 10, that's 2nd and 6, that's 3rd and 2, that's first down, right? They're better there than they are with any other defensive statistic, but still, it favors Jacksonville to be able to run the football, which is going to be a huge dynamic in this football game if they're going to pull off the win. All right, we got much more to do. For the record, I think they win the game. I don't even need an injury report. I think they win it, RJ. I think they go to Vegas. They start off well. Going to be a huge deal next week against Houston. As a matter of fact, I want to talk about Indy and Houston for a minute here on the other side. I think there's some stuff here that you're very good football fans, but you may not be aware of this. It's scary. It is. I'm not talking Halloween scary. I'm talking about football scary. If you don't know what I mean, good. We'll get into that next.
After a bye and a breather, the Jags get ready to rock the desert. It's blackjack, blitzes, and big plays as they roll the dice against the Raiders. Find out who's all in. It's a full house of football. Viva la Jaguars. Sunday at 4 on the home of the Jags, 1010 XL.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Michael Nickus in Jacksonville at 904-777-6888.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Winter and spring registration is already cranking up at I-9 Sports, and if you have kids ages 3 to 17, I-9 Sports is inviting you to get them on the field or in the gym with great sports like girls flag football. Plenty of places to play like Oakley, Fleming Island, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Log on to i9sports.com and see all the sports they have to offer across the First Coast. In Duval, Clay, and St. John's. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Registration open right now for winter and spring sports at i9sports.com.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Jacksonville.
Hi, it's Rick Ballou. If you're looking for a brand new truck right now, how about a crew cab Ram? Truck start at just $38,900 at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side, and every new retail purchase comes with the lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. From tough Ram trucks to adventure-ready Jeeps, they've got the perfect ride waiting for you. Stop by Commonwealth Avenue or shop online at jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's time for the Plumbing 411 from Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. It's not just annoying when your toilet keeps running long after you flush. It's also costly because it could waste hundreds of gallons of water a day. A running toilet's often caused by worn-out flappers, corroded valves, or a faulty float. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will fix the problem fast, which can help lower your water bill. Stop the running and start saving today. Make the superior choice when your toilet won't stop running, and learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296. Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429. Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Hey, Jaguar fans, Tom McManus here. Crown Royal is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, feeling game day with the generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more info on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. And remember, please drink responsibly.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Well, there's a ton going on, and we love it this way. The Jaguars, a padded practice on this Wednesday. Heard from Liam Cohen, heard from Trevor Lawrence. They're a 3.5-point favorite. They go to Vegas, try to win a football game after the bye. That'll be Sunday. Vegas coming off a bye as well. No injury report yet. Again, a West Coast team, so that'll be a few hours later. A couple of former Jaguars in the news. Andre Cisco suffered a torn pec, so he's going to be gone for the remainder of the year in New York. And how about old friend Mercedes Lewis? Remember at one point way back when we did the Mercedes Lewis show, and he signs today at the age of 41 with the Denver Broncos practice squad. And, of course, that's where Evan Ingram is. But love Mercedes Lewis, one of the really, really good guys, genuine guys to come around here. You know how long he's been in the league? He was in the same draft as Maurice Jones, Drew. They both came out of UCLA.
I mean, 41 years old, still trying to get after it on the gridiron, man. I think I would have been thinking of doing something else with my time. That just shows how much he loves the game of football, man.
He's a smart guy. He used to do a movie review with us. Not to say that movie review people are smart guys, but he has a broadcasting future if that is what he would want to do. But, I mean, 41 and more than 20 years in the NFL. Just think that NFL pension is going to be enormous for him.
It's going to be crazy.
I mean, and I'm so happy the NFLPA, you know, and the National Football League Players Association, they've really done a nice job the last decade plus. There was a time and a period where within the NFL, they were in shambles compared to Major League Baseball's union. And they have certainly up there, and they've forced a lot of change. Some I don't like, you know, like no more 2 days during training camp, no more hitting during the week. But anyway, that is where we are. All right, let's look at this, okay? Because Jacksonville's at 4-3. They're currently an 8 seed. They're one spot out if the playoffs were this weekend. All right, 4 divisional winners, 3 playoff teams, 1 bye. We get it. The NFL is always changing. Not sure why. All right? It's not broke. Don't fix it. They never should have moved back to PAT for crying out loud. This new kick rule, no. If you want to fix something, here's one. Tell us what a catch is and what a catch is not. All right? Because you have no idea, and I have no idea. Seriously, am I wrong? That remains the most difficult thing, excuse me, in the NFL. Indianapolis is the top seed. They are 7-1. It's the story this year in the NFL. They've won 4 games in a row. Do you realize, and they go to Pittsburgh. This is the reason why I'm mentioning it, all right? Pittsburgh did not play well last week. They blew a big lead with Aaron Rodgers. They all of a sudden have lost 2 straight, right? They were 4-1 and are now 4-3. Very similar to the Jaguars. But Indianapolis takes with them the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL. They're putting up 33.8 points a game. Daniel Jones has been sensational. Jonathan Taylor, arguably the best back right now in the NFL, fully healthy. They have the number 1 total offense. Again, I've never understood why, statistically speaking, people put total offense ahead of scoring offense, why people put total defense ahead of scoring defense. Isn't the goal in football to score and prevent your opponent from scoring? Yet they go with total offense, total defense, and I think a lot of that happens in garbage situations. I guess you could argue that point and say same thing with points. Anyway, they're number 1 in scoring and total, and they're number 6 in scoring defense. They score 33.8 a game, and they allow only 18.9 a contest. All right, they go to Pittsburgh. But let's look at this real quick, okay? How things are changing now for the Indianapolis Colts, who are playing well above their head at Pittsburgh Sunday. Is there a more heckle and jive team right now in the NFL than the Atlanta Falcons?
How many times have we chose them and they let us down?
Yeah, my last 3 times when we've made picks on our Friday show, I have been wrong on Atlanta.
Me too.
You people out there, you should just wait for our Atlanta pick and go the other way with it.
Absolutely.
Okay, but still, that's a team. We started against Buffalo. That's not, that's a tough putt. That's not a just show up and is that game on? There's an asterisk by it. I wonder if that game is. I know they're done with London. Where are they playing this game? In like Guam? Are they playing this game on like the cusp of the equator or something? Where does Roger Goodell have the Atlanta-Indianapolis game?
Why did I feel like that was supposed to be like in Berlin or something?
Maybe that is. So, all right, that'd be a road trip.
Right.
Okay? So they go to Pittsburgh. They have the trip overseas. See if you can find out where that is, please. And then at Kansas City, 3 straight huge road games. Okay? Hey, the odds right now to win the Super Bowl? The Kansas City Chiefs. They were the odds before Monday Night Football. After that, home with Houston. After that, Indy goes here. After that, they go all the way to Seattle. It is in Germany. Thank you, RJ. After that, they host San Francisco. After that, they host Jacksonville. And then they wrap up by going to Houston. That is a brutal schedule for the Indianapolis Colts, okay? If you were to look at winnable games, I think you would have to put this weekend. They are 3.5-point favorite at Pitt. But again, I mean, the vouchers are starting to come out for Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. We'll see how this team responds this Sunday. That's going to be a very intriguing game. All right, let's move on to Houston, because Houston was left for nothing, right? They got off to the terrible start, and, we started discussing 0-2 teams and 0-3 teams. So don't look now, but all of a sudden they've won 3 out of the last 4, okay? And what Houston does have is the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL, the number 1 total defense in the NFL. They only allow 14.7 points a game. Now, they've struggled on offense, albeit it appears to be getting a little bit better. But this is the top scoring defense in the NFL. Again, top total defense in the NFL. Also, get this. There's no Achilles heel. Houston is 5th against the run, 4th against the pass. They allow only 88.4 on the ground, 178.4 in the air. Now, there's really no room for error with Houston. They host Denver, all right? Denver is a small favorite here by 1.5 points, okay? You really need the Broncos to knock off Houston. You almost want to eliminate them. Then, of course, in a week, Jacksonville takes that trip, and they go out there. If they can do that, that could end up being a 2-game swing and, probably spell the end of the year for Houston because it is a difficult schedule. They do go to Tennessee, very winnable. But then look at this for Houston. Host Buffalo. Go to Indy. Go to Kansas City. Host Arizona. Host Vegas. All right. Kind of smooth there as they get into the month of December. And then they go to the Los Angeles Chargers and are home against Indianapolis. So, I just wanted to mention that because I think if we were to really consider everything about Houston, the feeling was they're done. That is not the case. They are actually still in it. My apologies to you degenerates out there, gamblers. And I'm just kind of jealous because I'm not with you. I'm out of the game. I've been out of the game for a decade, and I just feel like I'm not having as much fun as I should. I should be with you. It's Houston favored by 1.5 points, not the road Denver Broncos. So there you go. You spent a year in Houston. You surprised by their slow start, but their big pickup, winning 3 or 4?
I am, actually. I mean, when they started slow, and we saw them here in Jacksonville not too long ago, when we saw that they started off slow, I'm thinking, listen, they lose this game against San Francisco. I mean, I think when they break out of the huddle each time, they're going to say Cancun on 3, 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Now, all of a sudden, I think being on the Jaguars' heels like this, I think they make it very interesting in a division that everyone looked over. So now you go into that game after you finish this matchup against the Raiders. If you have to win this game against Las Vegas, because I think this Houston Texans team is going to figure out a way to turn it around. And that kind of a team having that kind of confidence scares me, especially because of their slow start.
Yeah, Jacksonville, in my opinion, has the easiest schedule of those two teams. Of the 3 teams, if you add Jacksonville to the mix. All right, appreciate that. We got much more to do with you tonight. That's a slip. With you this afternoon till 4 o'clock.
Hey, Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at atlanticinfinity.com.
Frank Frangie here. Bono's Pit Barbecue has been serving up legendary barbecue on the First Coast for over 75 years. And this month only, Bono's has loaded barbecue tater tots. That smoked pulled pork on top of tater tots with melted cheddar cheese sauce. You won't find this anywhere else. And with 18 Bonos around town, there's always one nearby. You can see all the locations at bonosbarbecue.com. Remember, the loaded barbecue tater tots are served for a limited time only, so don't miss out. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Sawgrass Asset Management loves this time of year when 2 decorated teams meet in the world of college football. Every year, we relive the rivalry with great moments from both sides of the big game thanks to Sawgrass Asset Management, specializing in high-quality growth stock and fixed income portfolios for institutional and high-net-worth investors. A Jacksonville company proud to be involved in the community. That's Sawgrass Asset Management. Log on to saw-grass.com to find out more.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
Here's hoping for a raise the roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Bueller,
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask? So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Congrats to former Florida special teams ace Brandon James and safety Todd Johnson's induction into the Florida-Georgia Hall of Fame. Friday, October 31st, presented by Miller Electric. To attend, go to flgajax.com/Hall of Fame.
The World Poker Tour is here at Best Bet Jacksonville through November 18th. Now is your time to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 poker tournaments, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 buy-in, no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guaranteed prize pool. Win your way in through satellites happening now. For the full World Poker Tour schedule and more information, visit bestbetjax.com. That's bestbetjax.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Been a lot of fun. Enjoyed it. Helmets and Heels fans, they're back tomorrow 2 to 4 and Friday. All right, they'll be from Circa in Las Vegas. Therefore, I'll shift back to my normal time. That'll be 6 to 8 tomorrow night as well as Friday night. But it's been pretty cool to work with one of my former producers, RJ. So his producers can only spend about 6 to 8 months with me, and then they've had it, and they demand a change.
Well, I mean, I had an opportunity out there in Houston. But we spent, I think, 2.5, 3 years together? Yeah. I mean, it was an absolute – I love – when we're able to pair up again, man. It brings up so many great memories. I mean, us doing late night down at Hogan Road. Now here we are at the new location, but same old tag team when we're able to do so.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It went by just like that. At least it did for me. But don't go anywhere because coming up right now.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
On location, UNF, it is Hayes Carline. How are you, young man?
Rick, doing wonderful. How are you? We're ready for some basketball out here.
Yeah. Man, it's on. We've had a couple of, a week and a half or so, whatever it's been in the NBA, but some college hoops tonight. So you guys are out there. What do you expect?
Yeah, it should be fun. It's going to be a really fun night for fans. It's a free event. It's an exhibition game. UNF is hosting Warner tonight. So the game tips off at 7, but it's got a pep rally feel. They're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, things like that. And again, it's free to get in. So if you're looking for something fun to do, come get a peek of what the UNF Ospreys are going to look like this year under first-year coach Bobby Kinnan. Bobby's going to join us at 4:15. We're certainly excited about that. Nick Morrow, the outstanding UNF AD, will join us as well. And we'll do the State Farm College Football Report and talk to Dr. Kevin Kaplan. So a loaded Frangie show coming up here live from UNF.
Wow, that sounds like an awful lot, and I know you guys are going to have a great time. Hayes, always a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
That's going to do it. Hayes Carline and I, by the way, do the Duval Rundown at 9:04 on Friday morning. Okay? And we love it. It's going to be I think, just a huge addition because we'll be on the cusp of getting out of this bye, and the Jaguars, a very winnable game in Las Vegas. I think the Jags are going to win. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think Jacksonville is going to win this one coming up on Sunday. Thank you to Niall Lawrence Stample. Thank you to you, RJ Saunders. Again, Helmets and Heels back tomorrow and Friday, 2 to 4 from Circa in Las Vegas. My name is Rick Ballou, and I'll get back to my normal slot tomorrow night and Friday from 6 until 8. Have a great day. We'll talk with you tomorrow night at 6.